We started from just this measly base plate to an almost complete game in 1 week, with a whole map, equipment store, UI, effects, weapons, and much more. The game link is at the top of the description, so help a brother out so we can get this game popping together. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe while you're at it too. Without further ado, let's rewind to where it all started. So the very first thing on the agenda was to create a level, or I suppose a lobby. Here's my idea: I'm going to have a massive magical school at the top of a mountain and a flat platform which would work as the lobby. So essentially the lobby will be the courtyard of this magical school. There will be no interior aside from a little tutorial area. I was pretty happy with the mountain, so I moved over to the interior. So we've got a very small room where a training dummy will spawn and essentially the tutorial will go in here. Also, as a small side note, I used the UI from my old game, edited it a little bit and imported it as the HUD. I eventually end up taking the majority of this and changing it up quite a lot just so I can save myself some time.
Yoink!
Small side note, if you guys are interested in joining the Discord server for this game, I just created one. The link will be at the top of the description. I'll see you guys there. And to get from the interior to the lobby area, I decided to make a door and of course animate it. I then eventually created some modular buildings that I can scatter around to make this magic school. This ended up being one of the results. Well, I think it looks okay. It doesn't really look like a school, so it ends up getting scrapped anyways later on. Now we can't leave good old Zaid idling for too long. We bought an asset pack a while back, so I had to manually import about 15 creatures and import their animations one by one, which is an absolute nightmare. And voila, we have all the creatures we'll need for the demo. Now with all the creatures imported and all their textures assigned, Zaid started working on them, and after numerous hours of work and him constantly nagging at me to help him test the AI, we finally had a decent system that we wanted to go with.
Hello, it's General Zaid. Here is a preview of the combat and enemy AI. So you can click on the enemy to target them and you can cast your magic on them. Currently we have just melee enemies, and then in updates we're gonna have ranged enemies as well. I made an equipment store which you can buy weapons and buy hats. Auras and potion can be obtained in different areas of the game.
When I tell you me and Zaid had no social life while working on this game, you know that meme of that man swinging on a swing by himself? Yeah, that was us. I made the stupid mistake of wanting to make my own wands, my own hats, which all had to match together. A bunch of different auras, probably 20 plus auras, which I kind of kit bashed from the toolbox, but you know, I can't do everything. And then all these items are getting stored in your inventory, so they all needed their own icons. So I had to make my own green screen in Studio, shove them over in Photoshop, get rid of the background, add an outline. Yeah, long story short, it was a lot of work.
I'm tired of suffering. I'm tired of suffering.
So here I did a full inventory system which stores items and you can upgrade them, you can stack them up. It's pretty cool. I won't bore you too much with the technical stuff, but Reakol and I, we've come up with ways to make development faster. The items are placed in folders, so Reakol can always create new items. To reward the players, we made a leaderboard system which shows the player with the highest gold, magical power, and highest boss skills. Your avatar is displayed for everyone in the server to see. So here is the daily reward system which is made. So every day the player rewarded with potions, so it can be any item we want.
So yeah, by this point we had so many features already implemented, and you can now equip a variety of different weapons, hats, and auras. Now as you progress, everything's a matching set, so whenever you unlock a new wand, the hat that you unlock at the same time will be matching that wand. Auras are going to work similarly to RNG games, where you can sit AFK and generate them over time. Eventually we'll add features where you can fuse these auras and create different ones and do all that kind of stuff. We have a bunch of different rarities as well, which determine how rare and how difficult it is to obtain something. Getting weapons and hats is more linear, so you kind of just progress through towers and just buy them, whereas aura is just complete luck. But yeah, eventually you can be swagged out with Poseidon's trident wand, Poseidon's hat, and Poseidon's aura and things like that. We intend on having a large variety of items and such, including way more things that will come in the future, just so players can express themselves. You may have noticed throughout the video as well that the UI has been changing quite a lot. So we have the inventory, of course. You can check your hats out, your auras, your potions. You can also click on any wand, upgrade it, and we've added some effects as well, just so it's a bit more satisfying. We of course also have a premium store for monetization, because you know, we all need some money. You can buy a few different game passes. You can buy boosts in forms of potions, which will give you double XP, double coins, and things like that. You can, of course, buy currency, coins, and crystals. You can also redeem codes. But yeah, use codes release and magic when you enter the game, and you get some free potions as well at the start. I also realized I recorded this clip as Zaid was midway through coding something, so I was a little bit surprised when I found a potion just flying off my screen like that, but I'm just gonna trust the process. You can also watch me here try and embarrassingly type magic a few times. Yeah, we of course have a settings menu as well with sliders for sound effects and music. We're also going to have player settings where you can hide hats and auras and things like that for optimization purposes, but for the initial release they probably won't be working. There's also this free rewards UI, which you just get rewards for joining our group, liking and favoriting the game, you know, the typical stuff. Now with all the UI and stuff out the way, it's a good time to discuss the changes that I made throughout the level. As mentioned earlier, this level has gone through quite a few changes. I feel like it looks a lot more like a school now. And of course, if you guys couldn't tell already, the game is kind of inspired by Harry Potter. If you know what that is, you should know, but... So we essentially have the magic school back here. It's more of a backdrop. You can't actually access it. And once you finish the tutorial, you kind of arrive outside this door right here. And then you're kind of greeted with the courtyard. And this courtyard has your typical simulator things, I guess, where you can get your free rewards, your daily rewards, leaderboard stuff, the equipment store, the towers where you'd play the game essentially. You have an AFK area, which is the main way you collect auras right now. There's also a higher chance to get rarer auras by completing towers multiple times. So every time you complete a tower, there'll be, let's say, a 5% chance of getting an aura. Whereas in the AFK zone, it's probably going to be like a 1% chance or less. There's also these coming soon areas over here, which are going to be like RNG towers and things of that nature. We actually don't really know what kind of things to add. So if you guys have any ideas of extra features we could add, feel free to comment them down below. And if they're good, we might steal them. This is something new that you guys wouldn't have seen by now. I've also made some changes to the interior. As it is the tutorial area, you can now select what house you want to be a part of, similar to Harry Potter of course. Now currently these don't really do much apart from change the color of your clothes, but eventually we want to have like houses and then you compete with your house to beat the other houses and things like that. I can go ahead and choose any of these, and if I choose the green one, you can see I get a green outfit. I'll start with a standard wand and hat. I have no currency, my inventory is empty and things like that. This tutorial essentially teaches you the basics of combat. There's also a board here that will tell you to click on the enemies to attack them. I go ahead and click it, and now I can automatically fire projectiles at it. Now we do currently have some animation issues. This is not how it's intended to look, but and once you kill it, the door will open and you can go ahead and walk through. At this point you'll get a badge as well to welcome you to the game, and now you are greeted with the courtyard. You can of course go over here, claim your daily rewards. You can view your leaderboards. As you can see, Zaid's currently at the top of the leaderboard, somehow with 50 million coins collected, and it obviously displays his aura that he's got equipped. Of course, as mentioned earlier, we have the equipment store as well. Everything's locked, but you get a silhouette of the previous wand. Same with the hats, although we also provide the names as well when you click on them. The game at the start will guide you towards the tower, just so you can play your first session and kind of understand the loop of the game. I'm going to be super weak with this wand, so I'm going to go ahead and cheat and get myself a better wand. Oh, would you look at that? I'm rich. I can go ahead and buy all these wands. The ominous glaring set is my favorite, so I'm going to go ahead and get those ones. So if I go ahead and equip these, I can also upgrade them. Now bear in mind guys, you're not supposed to start this crazy OP, and there's some UI I didn't show before, but essentially you have each tower. You can preview the rewards. These aren't the final rewards, but it will show you the percentage chance of getting them, so you can repeat these towers to have a high chance of getting something. And then we can have rare auras later on for a small percentage, which entices players to kind of grind a specific tower. We currently only have 4 towers. Each tower will have like 30 waves, so we expect you to level up like 10, 15, 20 times per tower or something like that. So if I go ahead and click the wolf tower, it will take me into the tower, and I can use what I was taught in the tutorial to click on this enemy and kill them. Obviously I'm extremely overpowered, you're not supposed to be this powerful, but for the sake of not getting obliterated, I am going to cheat. Also, instead of having to click on each individual enemy as well, this is a game pass, but you can click auto attack and it will automatically target enemies, which is very handy. Which is unfortunate we have to stick it behind a paywall, but we're being smart. I also forgot to mention your house icon is actually displayed next to your name as well, and this icon here is only displayed when you've bought VIP. This actually took me forever, but I'm finally at the boss fight. So once you complete a tower, get a small countdown, you complete it and you get your rewards. Then once you check your towers again, you have unlocked the next tower. We also have this AFK area here, which will give you currency, but it also gives you auras over time. So we're going to have things like tower exclusive auras and things like that, which are probably going to be easier to get, or a high percentage chance you get a higher rarity for completing a tower. But since people are going to sit AFK in here for hours, the chances of getting a rare aura is very, very low. So while this does have an AFK feature, you're also enticed to actually play the game, as you have a much higher chance of getting rare items. With that being said, that's practically the majority of this game shown off to you. you. We spent roughly just over a week making this, so we're very pleased with the outcome for such a short time frame. With that being said, we are going to continue to update this game so it hopefully blows up, and we hope you guys play it too so we can get a consistent player base. So that's pretty much it for this video. I really appreciate you watching this far, and if you did, make sure to of course subscribe. Comment down below any suggestions you have for this game, as we will be listening and we will be updating this game. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.